Oh boy. So here we are, 5 months through the year. I think the whole world was thinking interest rates will start coming down by now and it'll be better. And here we are with the national average at 6.97 and FHA at 6.5, 6.47. And honestly, they've just dropped and climbed, and really just so much uncertainty out there with tariffs and inflation and unemployment. It's just the same old thing, right? I think we're learning that it's not, this market is crazy. It's like just the market, and it is what it is. And, it's very hard to find the motivated. It's very hard to talk to people who aren't scared about these monthly payments. And ultimately, all we can do is just advise people, guide them, and be a resource for them, right? But the reality is that we have to work a lot harder to get the same number of deals or even less deals. And so that's why I wanted to talk about condos today, because we're seeing more and more issues with condos than ever before. And it's been a thing. So I put together that really cool cheat sheet to show you what questions to ask a seller or a listing agent. But the reality is, for most lenders, they don't find out condo issues until really late in the process. And so we've got a really great system down where we want to be proactive instead of reactive, and we want to make sure that we're ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve. And I'll just give you an idea of one thing that we just implemented literally last week. Was when a client gets into contract, literally looking up the last 4 or 5 closings within that community to see how they closed, because they show an MLS as conventional closings, but I actually have a program where I can pull up the loan type that was done. And when I looked up this property that we have, the last 4 closings were all done with non-QM loans. Tells me it's a non-warrantable condo. Literally, I can see that right off the bat. Large down payments, non-QM lenders. And I reached out to one of the lenders. He said, yeah, there's an issue. Here's the problem. It's a balcony thing. They're not done. They're not going to be done for a while. And sure enough, when we got the HOA cert, it showed that there was a balcony issue, and we have to wait for the repairs to get done. And there's just stuff, right? So again, we're trying to be proactive. I tell you that you need to ask these questions to your lender. Make sure your lender that you're working with, if it's not the SOTO team, that they're asking agents and that they're doing this research, because the last thing you want is that your client's in contract and all of a sudden they can't close because of the condo. And maybe they gave notice, or maybe they were planning and moving and just all that stuff. So the moral of the story here is that we want to find out early. We've got great systems and processes to help protect you and to protect your clients. And if you've got a listing, reach out to us. We'll look up the property for you as well. We'll check FHA, VA, and the conventional approved sites just to try to help you, right? So again, we're fighting the fight. We're in it with you. May's in the books, almost halfway through this marathon of a year. Our rate's going to go down. We don't know. Nothing we can control, right? All we can control, our actions, our attitude. Have a great day. We're available all weekend. Bye.